everybody, Lee here in Florida. Today I want to talk to you about is bacteria. Now, keep in mind that for years, as I was a child growing up and even into adulthood, that I was told that you should get rid of the germs. The germs are what causing you to be sick. Kill those germs. After you brush your teeth, use a mouth rinse, very strong mouth rinse to kill all them bad germs. And I'm sure you felt the same way. And when I remember going into a friend's house, and the mother wasn't a working mother, like she could keep that kitchen so beautifully clean that I was in awe. I mean, oh man, this is really living. It's a beautiful kitchen. Back in the 50s, generally, they were taught to keep everything spotlessly clean of germs. Keep those germs away because you don't want to get sick. The germs will make you sick. Well, guess what? It wasn't until late adulthood that I became aware that it wasn't the germs. Germs. What were germs? Germs were bacteria or virus that were in the air and everywhere. In fact, little did I know that I was practically made up of two things, as you are. Energy, only when we feel things, when we see things, it's all energy. And E equals mc squared means energy is mass something squared equals that. Anyway, that's Einstein. So the whole universe is energy that's coagulated, or I don't know if that's a proper word, but everything comes together to form crystals, all sorts of crystals, either soft crystals. The rock over there, the big rock, is a hard crystal. Each one has its own frequency, its own rhythm, so to speak. Everything does in the whole universe. We're just part of that. So, anyhow, we can't want to get too deep into that, but the fact is that what I didn't know, and millions and a billion other people didn't know, was that germs weren't all bad. Actually, 85% of them we need very much for our system to work. Just doesn't work if we don't have the bacteria. Now, I'll give you a little story. Back when I was young, there was a man called Howard Hughes, and he was an industrialist. His dad was an industrialist. He was actually inherited Hughes aircraft from his father. And he was a multimillionaire. At that time, there weren't billionaires, there were multimillionaires. And he was very a good-looking guy, had this nice mustache, and he would date all these actresses. And we saw him in the movie magazines and all that sort of thing. But he was quite the guy. So I don't know what that means for anybody or myself. Probably nothing. But it was just that he was a flamboyant person. The only problem was he believed what most of us believed was that germs were bad. Only bad. Because if those germs get at you, they'll do you in. They're going to make you sick. They're going to kill you. I remember that he was probably the human being that most kept away from germs. I mean, everything had to be totally cleaned all the time. He hired people to do that for him and take care of him. He shrunk up into this little guy who eventually died. And now today, I realize that why he died was that he not only killed all those bad germs, no, he killed the good ones. The 85% that we need to operate our system, our bodies. And I didn't realize it until many years later. I finally heard somewhere, or read somewhere, biological stomach, the microbiome, 85% are good bacteria that we need to operate our system, our bodies. And only 15% are bad ones. And after I heard that, I realized, wait a minute, all the germs, guys shouldn't have to worry about germs then. Because another thing that I heard when I was young, probably in my early teens or on, was that research had shown that kids that lived in the ghettos or the poor areas of a city, they were healthier, and they're the ones that exceeded, especially at athletics in school. They were always healthy. They weren't getting sick, whereas the poor little sniveling kid in the beautiful suburbs with the beautiful home and the clean, everything clean, they were always sick, always getting sick, contrary to what we were led to believe. So if you look all over the world, you get kids living in sometimes pretty nasty situations, neighborhoods where there's a lot of garbage and there's animals, all sorts of animals running around, and they're running around happy. As long as they're getting some decent nutrition, they're happy as heck. They aren't depressed or anything like that. They're just happy to be alive and having friends and having family. They thrive. Why do they thrive? When we're in a beautiful neighborhood and everything is clean, spotlessly clean, clean clothes every day, and clean this, clean that, and those kids are always sick. What's going on here? Well, the fact is that as long as you get good nutrition, now that can be someone that is carnivore on one end or complete vegetarian or vegan, they call them, on the other end. Well, you know what? My thoughts are this. Human race came into fruition, was able to grow because of a couple of things. One was they had balance in what they ate, and their body could starve, and then the body ate all the bad stuff. I mean, really, that's what happened. They would go hungry, and everything would become sharp and clear, and they'd be strong because they were hungry, because the body was in survival mode. Now, I don't want to get into that right now, but I do want to emphasize that your microbiome is the most important part of your body. And I know exercise is very important because I do enough of it, but the microbiome is it. The food goes into your upper GI tract, which is the stomach, and there it starts to get processed. Who's processing it? The very germs we thought we should get rid of are doing the job for us. But first, they're killing off any of the bad bacteria that get involved, any bad stuff that gets involved in there from the food or from the lower colon. If that stuff moves up into the upper GI tract, it gives us a lot of problems. But those little guys do the job for us. And I'm not talking about hundreds of them. I'm not talking about thousands of them. I'm not talking about hundreds of thousands, millions, billions. No, trillions of them. And they're constantly trying to keep you in homeostasis, which is keep you level so that your body is always in balance. So it's really pretty interesting stuff. And I've researched enough, but listened to enough doctors that know about this and read enough books to know that this is really, really important. And I'm learning this, thank God we had the internet, so that these people that know the truth can tell you what the truth is. All the germs, we call them, but all the bacteria are bad. No. So we learn all this. I hope that by letting you know this is things that you should remember. You have to have the correct biomass in your stomach, in your gut. Otherwise, you're going to be sick because different bacteria do different things. Some can help you in one area, another one can help you in another area, another one can help you feel better. All these bacteria have their place together to keep you a happy, healthy person. And especially as you get older. I mean, when you get young, the body adapts pretty quickly. Everything goes well. You feel good most of the time. And you're strong and healthy. And yeah, that's good. But when you get old, everything starts to break down, as any of you that are elderly know. But you can bring yourself back, which I've done this year actually, from the brink of where I didn't care if I lived or died at one point because I had such a bad year in 2025. And I'm still working on it all. But the thing is that I've Dr. William Davis, if you look him up, look up his website or look him up on YouTube, he will tell you these particular bacteria do these particular things for you. And these are things that you should know and realize if you want to live a happy, longer life and stay in the game. And if you want to do that, you need these certain bacteria. And I've been already for the last month or so making homemade yogurt and kefir for my wife and myself. And I keep adding new bacterium that I think I should have in my stomach. In fact, it's a good thing to do to just go get, normally Lifeway Kefir has the best selection that I know of. If you go to the store, your store, get Lifeway Kefir, and then use that as a starter to warm up your milk to under 100 degrees, of course. Warm it up, put it in a big bowl, and then dump that kefir in there, maybe half a cup of it, and cover it, leave it overnight. Simple as that. And they will explode as long as they get the warmth. And you got to put some prebiotic in it. And you can look that up. It's easy to do. And then the other thing is what I have learned crazy, that I still learning stuff like this at the age of 85. It's nuts to me. Why do I have to? I should know everything by now, but I don't. But I want to feel better, and I want to live a little longer, enjoy the life here. Of course, I'm in Florida. I'm enjoying it quite a bit. But by doing that, I have discovered that it's bacteria. It's the right bacteria. And in order for that bacteria to grow, you have to have the proper fiber. These are things you should look up. What fiber should I be eating? What vegetables? It's vegetables. No sugar. They will eat the sugar, but what you want is for them to devour those vegetables in your stomach, and they massively increase and keep you healthy. That's what's happening. I could go on, but let's leave something for another video. In another video, the next video, I'm going to give you how I make my yogurt and show you what I do. And I'm always trying to improve on it to have a bigger and bigger variety of the good bacteria. There's like 10, 20 bacteria themselves that are responsible for people living over 100 years old. That's right. If you get the right amount and the right bacteria into your microbiome, you can live a long time and live feeling great. That's what I'm after all the time. That's what I research. So I hope that what I've talked about today gets you started thinking about how to be healthy. And it isn't eating any kind of sugar or carbohydrates a little, keep it under 50 a day or something. That's what I do. In order for me to make a sandwich, I got to have something to make a sandwich with, so I buy keto bread, which is 0 carbs or 2 or 3 carbs a slice, and I do that. But I don't eat any sweets, no sugar. Cut it out. You don't need it, but it's vegetables and meat. Vegetables and meat. You have a great day today, and I hope that this helps a little bit in your life. Thank you very much for watching. Take care. Bye-bye.